Stop hiding, stop hiding, stop hiding your face.
Namaste, motherfuckers. Hey, did you know that human beings ain't really supposed to be these disease-ridden, mentally ill, dysfunctional, wounded, traumatized, damaged beings we have become? Is that the God's plan? Is that the nature's plan for us, me and you? Or is that the system's plan for human beings living in the system? Let's think about it. Firstly, in our society, we have this belief that it is just normal part of aging to get sick when you grow older. It's normal to start having these diseases. They can manifest in different ways in different people. Some people, the heart gives out. Some people, stroke. Some people, arthritis, eyesight problems, skin issues. You feel like a crippled old man when you're 30 or 40. This is normal in our society, and we think it's just the normal process of aging. But is that how nature or God intended us to function in this reality? Or are we fucking it up? Is that deterioration? Is that nature's way to tell you, basically scream at your face, that hey, son, daughter, boy, girl, female, male, you fucking it up right now, and I give you all these signals to you about it so you can change. But because we are so brainwashed, because in our system we have this belief that it is normal part of the process of being a human being, we don't really listen to these signals. We mask these signals most of the time. Now, this might be the biggest red flag about this system me and you live in, that tells everything we need to know about this system and everything we need to do to change this system is when you start to think about, does this system want us as human beings to be healthy, happy, all those good ass strong vibes things that we could be, that human beings could be? Or does this system want us to be weak, mentally ill, diseased, sick beings that barely function when we get 30s, 40s, 50s. These days, many kids, their life's over when they're born. The sickness is going like this, and the happiness and the health of human beings is going like that. Does this system push us towards health, good ass feelings, or does this system push, basically freaking, they put both hands on our shoulders and they press really freaking hard? They're trying to drown us right now. Are they trying to push us to the direction of diseases and sickness? Let's think about it. If the system would want us to be the best versions we can be, there's not gonna be perfect in nature, but we can be a whole lot better than we are right now. If the system would push us, or basically take a walk, take our hand, and take a little walk with us towards the good ass feelings, the system would do everything possible to provide the best possible nutrition for us. Nutrition is the cornerstone of being a happy and healthy human being. We are what we eat. Many people know that, but they don't really think about that true. So the system would be built in a way that it provides the cleanest, the most nutritious, least amount of toxicity and pollution possible for us to consume in terms of food, water and air. Is that how the system is built right now? Or is it incredibly hard, first of all, to get real food? Let's think about the food that it is in supermarkets. That's where most of the people get their food. Is there a lot of real food there, produced by local farmers near you, with a soil that is treated like soils need to be treated, so they contain the most amount of nutrition possible, so the food that grows there is the most nutritious. The animals who eat that food grow up to be the most nutritious and healthy animals possible, and then we slaughter them, and when we consume those animals, or if we want to consume fruits and vegetables, all of the food is the best quality food, the purest food, how Mother Earth, how nature intended that food to be. Is the system doing that? Or is the system making farming, the farming practices of being a farmer, first of all, incredibly hard thing to do, monetarily, supporting yourself, your family? Is it making it fun and the easiest possible job for these farmers to do? Or is there a shit ton of regulations, laws, bureaucracy? These farmers are basically office workers now. They got so many paperwork right now, and I visit many farms here in Finland because I need to go get out of my way to get my food from the local people that still do at least somewhat good job with their farming practices, and they all say that the system with its laws and regulations that are supposed to be so good for us, the daddy government, they're taking care, they is there to help us, hold our hands and give us the best chances in life. But when I talk to these farmers, all these rules, regulations, paperwork they need to do, all that jazz that are masked in a way that it is good for us. But when you start to look at it, these farmers cannot even sell their foods in supermarkets, in the local markets. They cannot, some of the time, they cannot even advertise some of the real foods. For example, raw milk here in Finland. In some countries it's even illegal to sell raw milk. And it is masked by, we're just trying to help you guys. We do this mutilated milk where the food matrix is broken down. The vitamins, the minerals, they are broken down, the fat is broken down. Your body doesn't know how to handle this new food anymore. But this is the food we're gonna put in your supermarkets. And the real food, we don't, first of all, educate you about it at all. We don't give you knowledge about the real food. These guys who still grow the real food like human beings have been doing for all the time. Human beings have been living here, doing the farming practices. The ways, they have forgotten. Forget about that shit. We got the answers that we came up with 50 years, maybe 70 years ago. And how is the population? Is the population the healthiest it has ever been? Is things looking real good right now? Or are things looking real? You make your choices. So when it comes to food, there's no real food anymore left in the supermarkets. First of all, the local food is not there. You have to go out of your way to get the local food. You have to have these connections, all that. And the farmers, they kind of scared because first of all, they don't have much money. They barely even can support themselves. If this system wants us to be so healthy, it would make it super easy for the people growing our food to survive and thrive. And right now, they are struggling hard here in Finland, probably in your country, pretty much every developed country. Some of the other countries, the third world countries, the things might be a little bit better. They still got that old knowledge, but in here, the people that did have the knowledge back in the days, how things used to be, they're dying out fast, and that knowledge is dying out fast. Why this is? There's 3 types, and this is continuum, but 3 major types of people in this system we live in. At the bottom is the ignorant people, and I don't mean this in a demeaning way, if you're one of them. Ignorant just means you don't know better, you don't have knowledge, you lack that base knowledge. That's why I made this channel, so you can learn some base knowledge here. And if I'm wrong, tell me if I'm wrong. We can have some discussions in the comments, whatever. But the ignorant people are basically keeping this system, this machine, working because they don't know any better. Many times these people mean good. They might think they are doing the right thing for themselves, for their families, for their communities, for their nations, for people in general. They don't have the knowledge, they don't have the critical thinking right now, because most people are poisoned. Most people are living in a constant state of brain fog 24/7. Their third eye is basically blocked with fluoride and all that shit. So they don't got that logic reasoning happening anymore. And it's not their fault again. It's this. We get to these people. So these people think they're doing good things. They're working for their community and they need that paycheck. Their money is real tight. They need that paycheck to pay the bills. Otherwise, so they just doing their job and being ignorant what the effects of their job might be, and those effects might be extremely detrimental for themselves, for their families, for their communities, for their nations, and for the whole Mother Earth, nature. So they keep the system alive, and the system wants us to keep them ignorant, so they don't have their awakening, so to speak, and start realizing what they're doing. These jobs are many. They're in the farming. Most people in the farming practices are doing all this poisoning, killing the soil, destroying the animals, giving the animals unnatural foods and environments to live in, so the animals raised are being polluted. They're basically living unnatural lives like we human beings, and they get toxicity, and then when we eat the animals we get that toxicity from them. Same with the plants, the soils are not treated right. They use all these chemicals, man-made chemicals that are incredibly toxic for human beings. Again, what human beings need, we don't get, and what human beings definitely don't need and we don't want, that pollution, that toxicity, we get way more of that. Because these ignorant people, they are basically forced in the corner in many times, monetarily reasons. So they have to do these practices to keep their business or their farms, whatever, alive. And then obviously there are the government jobs, armies, police, that basically keeps the system alive and doing well. The machine working, that rat race working real good. So number one, the ignorant people. That's why we have base knowledge over here, yapping about all this knowledge. These people sometimes might be incredibly hard to get to. Maybe they are just bots anyway, real NPCs, that's one theory. I don't really think that's true, but I'm open to it. But it is many times hard to get into these people. They have to have some negative type experience in their own life, some traumatized experience, to have that moment that their eye kind of starts to wake a little bit. And again, food, massive for your brain, for your eyes, and for your eye to open, to see clearly what is happening, to have clarity, to have reason, logic. basically have this thing working properly. Food major part. Now the second layer of people on top of the ignorant people, they're still the working class people, but they have that one eye open, one still closed. They have that one eye here, like kinda barely starting to open a little bit. They kinda having this awakening experience. These people still do lack some knowledge, and these people still can go along with the system, go along these practices that destroy everybody in the system basically. They still wear that mask, but they maybe wear that mask like this. Many of these people do those things again because of monetary reasons. That's how they get us, because we don't have no choice, Dean. That's why you go check out my money video. Very important thing to understand if you want to make a change here. But these people, you can get to these people, and more you can get these people to open up, they start to fight the system here and there a little bit. Human beings are very social creatures, and these people that have that one eye still closed, one eye open, many times they fear the social consequences if they start to voice their opinion about the system. If they start to go against the system, they fear the other people, the ignorant people, because they kind of like the crabs in the bucket. They're gonna crab you down. They want to bring you to their level. They don't like that free thinking mind, that open mind. They fear that. So many people here in the middle levels, they kind of start to understand on some level what is going on, but they don't really understand the end goals of the third group of people. They don't really understand the whole scales, how the system is fucking us over, because it's from everywhere. It's 360 around your head, and the poison, the pollution, the toxicity. It's basically like you are drowning in a lake full of toxicity. Your body is dying there, and then there is a whole big waterfall on top of you, still raining down stream of pollution and toxicity on top of you. And you basically need to have all the knowledge, and you have to have many times support. You have to have monetary support also. You have to have a lot to break at least some sort free from the system, and if you wanna break completely free, that's a whole different ball game. That's also one thing, this system, when we think about it, like, does this system push us towards health and happiness, or does this system push us towards disease, sickness, toxicity? What this system teaches us about food, about everything. Basically everything this system teaches us is upside down. What does the government tell us to eat? The food pyramid. You basically flip that upside down and you got your answer, what you should be eating. And that's the same with many other things. And these people that are like this, they kind of start to understand some of the pieces, but they're not really sure yet, because they don't have that own experience. That's how you learn the best, when you can experience something yourself. That's when you actually can know things for yourself. You don't have to trust anybody. You don't have to trust this scientist, this fucking paper, this or that influencer. You know yourself. That's the best way to know things. That's the best way to have knowledge or wisdom. And the system does everything it can to keep these people that are ignorant and keep these people that are half awake on that state and bring them lower. The system, again, the crabs in the bucket. And again, the scale, the scope of the things that keep you going down or where you at, it's from everywhere. It's the food, it's the mental things, the entertainment, the people around you, because they have captured most of the human beings alive. Like these first two layers, the ignorant people are the most people in this world this earth we're living right now, they are in the ignorant reality. And then there is increasing amount of people in this half-wake reality. And we need to get those people to the other side. And it definitely seems like it's happening, the Great Awakening. But the thing is, it can also be a trick. You also have to think about when we get to the third group, there's 3 different types of people in the third group. And basically these people at the third group, they are fighting over the people in the half-awake and ignorant people to get on their side. Because when you get the masses onto your side, you're chilling, bro. You're chilling. You're the king then. So there's this battle going on. There's many traps. There's many roads these half-awake people can take that are trapped. They got their leg broken. They got their other eye taken out again. Many rabbit holes lead to nowhere. Many rabbit holes lead to here. So then there is the third group. In this, these are the enlightened ones, the illuminated ones. They got that base knowledge. And there's 3 groups I can think of right now on top of my head. One is the ones that control the system, that created the system, the ones that can print out all the money in the world they want. They got most of the resources because they know how things work in this reality we live in, and they have been knowing this for a long time. So they have used this knowledge to enslave these people below them that are ignorant or a little bit awake. They used their base knowledge to gain power and gather the most resources. And basically these guys are pretty invincible right now. They got it all going. They created the system. They make the system work for them. They got it down. And this is the step that most of the half-awake people need to take. They need to realize that there are these people. They think about these people maybe like the corporations, the Vanguard, the BlackRock, but they need to go a step further from it, or couple step further from it still. But there are a lot of people kind of waking up. They just need to avoid the traps. But there are these people that use the base knowledge to enslave other people for whatever reason. We are not gonna go into that in this video. But it's pretty clear when you start to analyze the system we live in, that the system wants us to go to a certain way that leads to weakness, disease, brain fog, mental illness, all that bad stuff, bad vibes only. But not so bad that you cannot work. You need to work to keep the machine going. So they have to get 30, 40, 50. These days people probably can't retire anymore, how things are looking. So they need to get maybe 40, 50 years out of you before you die on some of those deadly diseases we get these days because of the overload of pollution and toxicity in this system. Then there is the second group of people in the enlightened people category that also got the base knowledge. They know what the fuck is up with this reality, but they wanna use their knowledge for better things. They wanna create a better system. That's one way. I'm more into the camp that we should go back to nature. That's where human beings thrive. That's where the real happiness and health awaits. Maybe some kind of hybrid that we can still use the best parts of civilization, technology. But when we get into that, that's a whole different topic, and that's kind of hard topic also to tackle. But understand that there's this group of people that got base knowledge, and they don't really want to enslave other people. They want to destroy or change the current system to something else, something better in their minds that can also easily be perverted. Power corrupts people most of the times. Only people that don't care about power maybe should have the power. But the thing is, They don't care about the power. So those types of people usually don't get to the positions where they have power. So there's that. The more the masses start to understand this base knowledge, the harder it is to this current system to work, because they understand that the things they are doing for the system are fucking themselves, fucking other human beings, and fucking up Mother Earth. So they are less willing to do it anymore, and the practices of the current system, they need to change. And this is the answer to breaking this system, to get most people onto that real knowledge. But again, there's that one pickle that you can argue about what's real, what's not real, what's bad, what's good for human beings. And I think I got some answers. That's why I'm doing these videos. Then there's third group of the enlightened people that kind of just say, fuck it. They know what's what. They see the evil. And maybe they see some of the good, but they're kind of black-pilled to the dead. They have lost hope. I understand these people very well. They just kind of go off-grid somewhere. Maybe they will try to do some kind of things to still help. But they basically just lost hope. They understand how deep the roots of this system go, and the scale of this system. And the challenge is very huge. It is incredibly big mountain to climb. And they basically they're chilling to the rest of their days. So those are the basic levels of human beings in their knowledge level inside of the system. The ignorant people, they keep the machine working. They follow the orders. They are the meh. Then the half-awake ones, some of them also can start to use this some knowledge they have to scam, snake oil hustle other people, so they get resources in this system, because this system is all about money. Me having more than you, me trying to get your resources, because that's how we are taught in this system to work as human beings. We are not taught to work together harmoniously with other people and with nature. We are taught to fight other people because the resources, they are scarce. We don't have abundance. Even though a couple of these enlightened people who created this system, they have resources like a motherfuckers. They have their own freaking continents and shit, pretty much. So they got it all. And we, some of the people here, they can turn extremely dangerous also to keeping the system alive, because they're the ones putting those ignorant people to work again for some bullshit reason, for some bullshit work. That's a lot of the system also. They are the politicians also that keep the government going. They following the orders from the top ones because they want that penny, they want that power, and some other things we cannot talk about in YouTube. So that's another big issue inside of the system. People in the system working against other people in the system because they want resources, money, and some other things we cannot talk about. Now, like I said, when you start to look what this system educates you, the knowledge this system provides you in schools, in the mainstream science, all that, how did 2020 go? We forget about that shit already? How did that go? I was saying that shit from the day one. And a lot of people around me, they called me crazy, and I lost some relationship for that. Anyway, that's not the point of this video. But let's just remember how 2020 went. That's basically what the mainstream is pushing. But when you think about the education you get from the system, it's most of the time half-truths. That's very common. And sometimes even completely the opposite of the truth. But because it's pushed on us from every which way, the propaganda is strong. They're basically yelling it to your brain every which way possible. You start to believe it. You start to have bullshit ass beliefs. So I get it. I get it. Then when you look at the practices of the corporations, the farming practices that I spoke about, and the practices in general, how people do their businesses, what are they producing? Are the products we buy, the food products, the whatever cleaning products, you can go every which way possible. Are they good for us? Do they provide what we need? And they don't have what we don't need? Or is it like this? Or like this? A lot of pollution, a lot of toxicity. Are they trying to make a pretty penny? Selling you snake oil and things that are detrimental to your health? Are they doing practices that are good for the Mother Earth we live in? Or are we raping Mother Earth up in the Timo's ass? And with the laws, the regulations, the monetary situation of people, does the system make it easy to follow nature, to buy the best possible food we can buy? Does it make it easy to get the best possible water, air, to minimize the toxic things for human beings? Or are those things that are bad for us everywhere? The system pushes them down our throats. We have to go out of our way to get this knowledge in the first place, because the system doesn't educate us on that. And we have to go way out of our way to actually get the real food. Many places, the laws and regulations have made it impossible to even get some of the real food anymore. So that's nice. And soon you will be eating soy and bugs and lab-grown meats and sludge this and sludge that from soybeans and corn and monocropped GMO motherfucking bullshit ass food. So are the things going better, or are things going the opposite side? You tell me. We use so many waste products from other industries that are also probably raping the earth real good. And the waste products, because we still want to make more and more of the shiny things, we put those waste products on our food products that we eat, our children eat, and you can see the effects on the children born these days. It's getting worse and worse. And the easiest way to really see and realize all this is just to look inside of yourself. Think about, am I happy? Am I healthy? Is my body functioning? Is my mind functioning? Then you look outside of yourself, the other people you interact with. Do they look healthy? Do they act healthy? What kind of mental state they are in? What kind of emotional state are in? What kind of physical state people around you are in? Then you start to look at people who still live in the nature, some of the tribes. You start maybe studying a little bit how things used to be, how human beings used to be, when things were way more natural still. How did those people function? What did they eat? How much toxicity was around back then? And it starts to become extremely clear what this system we are in right now does to human beings, and what we need to do to make ourselves happy and healthy again, and possibly break this system. See you in the next one. Bye guys. Thanks for watching.